Hey, it's Adrian from demcrumbliestech, and today I'm comparing the Rode wireless Go system to the LensGo LWM 318C wireless system as well. So in terms of price, these are very different. This is around 100 Canadian or 80 US, and this one is around 300 Canadian, which works out to like 230, 240 US. So there's a big difference in price, like, three times as much. So let's just do a comparison of the sound, the range, and let's see which is worth it. Let's get started. Okay, so I've done like separate reviews for each of these products, but for those who haven't seen it, let's just go through really quickly what comes in the box. So starting with the LensGo system, you have the wireless transmitter and receiver with magnetic clips. You also have a wind muff. You have included wired lav mic if you want to use that with a wind muff as well, and a lapel clip. You also have a TRRS cable and a TRS cable. You also have two charging cables, micro USB. You also have a lanyard if you just want to have it hanging off your neck. You have these two keys or pins to reset it. And you also have an additional magnetic mount with backing tape if you have like a more permanent setup. For the Rode system, you have the 2 units as well. You also have 2 charging cables, and these are Type-C charging cables. You also have a TRS cable, a carrying pouch, and the wind muffs. Also forgot to mention on the LensGo, you do have a carrying case as well. Okay, let's talk about the main differences between both systems. So let's start with the Rode system. So on the Rode system, you can easily tell which is the transmitter, which is the receiver. This is the receiver because it has the screen transmitter here. Now, if you power them on, so you can see on this screen, you get a bunch of helpful information. You can see the battery life of the transmitter and the receiver. You also have real-time audio monitoring, so you can see if anything's clipping. There's also a dB level indicator, so you can see if I click that, you can change the dB level. And you also have a signal strength indicator to tell you how much signal you have. And on both of these, the clip is built in, okay? And charging wise, you have the USB Type-C, which is great. That's the type of cables most people have now. And you have the audio monitoring if you want to do that by headphones. You also have a port here for a wired lav mic if you want to run that. And then you have the built-in microphone. You also have 2 LEDs here to show you that it's powered on and that it's synced. Okay, now the LensGo system. So at a glance, you really can't tell which is which. If you look at the back of these, so if I remove the magnets, you can see one says transmitter and one says receiver. So that's how you can tell them apart. So you are gonna have to pay extra attention to that. Now, one neat thing about this system versus the Rode is it's a magnetic clip-on system. So you can see here, well, actually once it's on there, you could just rotate that and then you can see if it's the receiver transmitter anyway. Yeah, you can see right there. Now with this, the magnet is really good on this. So because it's relying on just the magnet to keep it secure, they're good magnets. So you can see if I drop it from here, it found its way home. If I kind of do it at a diagonal, found its way home again. So it does take a bit of effort to get this off. So that's great. On the back of the transmitter, you have the built-in mic, like on the Rode. You also have a input if you want to run a lav mic, and you have one LED light which shows you that it's paired, and I believe it flashes or changes color to let you know if the battery life is low. There's also like a reset area here, and you do have charging, but it is micro USB, so kind of like the old style. And on the receiver, you have a 3.5 jack if you want to do headphone audio monitoring, and you also have an LED light. So once you turn both on, one stays blue, one stays cyan, and that means they're paired. Now, big thing between this and the Rode system is you have a wealth more of information on this system. You can see the battery life for both. You can see the audio monitoring. You can see signal strength, and you actually have the ability to adjust the dB. On this, there's nothing. It's just you turn it on, it's paired. So this is like a set it and forget it system. So you know, it's dependent on you what you prefer. I mean, while this is handy that it has the monitoring on here, you know, most likely you're not going to see that because you're not actually it's going to be mounted to your cold shoe. So you're not really going to see that unless you have it like dangling down on the side. So that's a major difference. Now, going into like the practicality of using it. So this is the transmitter for the Rode, and this is 31 grams, and the transmitter on the LensGo is 38 grams. So it's only a gram difference, doesn't really matter. However, if I clip this on, you can see it has a tendency to sag down. One way to get around that is to clip it inwards like that and tuck it in. Now, let me adjust that better. So you can see it's not going to sag as much. Now, if I was to move too much, you know, it does have that tendency to sag. So, you know, that is something you have to deal with. One way to get around that is to use a lanyard. Just run a lanyard under this clip and have it hanging here. Now with the LensGo system, it's going to have that same tendency to sag. So you can see if I clip it here, again, it's also sagging, right? So you have two ways to fix that, unlike the Rode system. So I could clip it inwards like this, you know, less likely to sag, you know, unless I move it. Look, yeah, actually that's popping up pretty easily. But the one neat thing with this is, you know, I can just separate the mic here. And what I'll do is I'll run this behind my behind my sweater, and then I'll just use the magnet here and clip it here. So now it's less sagging, it's not clipped anywhere on here, and you know, you're still gonna hear the audio. And if I shake this, dangle it around, like it's not going anywhere, right? Let me just set that back. So this, I feel, is a better system in terms of mounting. It's more versatile. Because the magnets are really strong on here. You could see, you know, I really shook it around and it didn't go anywhere. And you know, I could just bring this higher up if I want, like up in the corner here. And you know, I just feel that's a much better system. As well, on the LensGo system, they do give you a lanyard if you want to clip it. So it's not something you're buying. You also get a supplied lav mic. Wired lav mic, which is something that doesn't come in the Rode system. So value-wise, you get way more with the LensGo system than you do with the Rode wireless system. Now, that may not be as important to you. You know, your determining factor may be the audio quality. So let's get into that now. So here's the audio test with the LensGo system. So to keep it fair, I'm just gonna have this mounted like straight in the middle for both units. So, you know, the distance between you know, my mouth and the units are going to be accurate. So this is what that sounds like. This is rated for 4 hours of battery life, and like I mentioned, there's no volume settings or anything to adjust. So the camera I have it paired with is the Sony a7 III, and the input level on the camera is 12 right now. So here's what it sounds like. Now let's listen to what the Rode unit sounds like. Okay, so here's the audio from the Rode wireless mic system. I have it in the same place. So like I mentioned, on this unit, you have 3 gain adjustment settings. So I've left it on 0, thinking that's going to be kind of like a fairer ground. So this is what that audio sounds like. Now on this unit, the battery, I believe, is a bit bigger because this is rated for up to 7 hours of battery life, whereas on the LensGo, it's 4 to 4.5 hours. In terms of the range on both units, this is rated for 70 meters, which is around 230 feet. And on the LensGo, it's rated for 50 meters, which is around 164 feet. So let's do a test of the audio range for both units now. Okay, quick range test with the LensGo system. So this is rated for 50 meters or 164 feet, providing you have a clear line of sight. So most likely you're gonna hear the signal cut in and cut out when my body's turned away. Walking, 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 clear line of sight. Walking, 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 clear line of sight. Walking, walking, Clear line of sight. Clear line of sight. Clear line of sight. Line of sight. Okay, range test with the Rode wireless lav system. So again, you may hear clicking when I turn my back away because it needs a clear line of sight. And I believe this is rated for 230 feet. Walking, 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 walking. Clear line of sight. 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 So from those audio range tests, we can see like the most reliable system is the Rode system. While I maintain line of sight on the LensGo system, the audio was there for around the 40 to 50 meter mark, so it is accurate there. However, every time you have your body turned away from the receiver, where your body's blocking the signal just cuts in and out, right? So unless you're walking backwards, you're gonna have those audio drops. On the Rode system, even while I had my back turned away from the unit, the audio only ever cut out around the, I would say like 60 meter mark. But every time I turned back around and I had clear line of sight, it came right back. So on the Rode system, like I was able to have my back towards the unit, I would say for like 40 to 50 meters and it was still transmitting audio. It's only when I got around the 60 meter mark, that's when the audio cut out and came back when I turned around. So I would say for both systems, if you need that guaranteed reliability while you're walking long distances, definitely it has to be the Rode system. Now, if you're just doing like these kind of like indoor videos like I'm doing, then you can go with either system because I had no issues with the LensGo, while I was just like, say like 2 feet away from the camera. So after doing the audio test and the range test, just my like final thoughts on the units. I think that if you're mostly going to be in an indoor environment, or you're not going to be walking more than say like 10-20 feet away from the camera, then you can definitely go with the LensGo system for the price, which is a third of what the Rode wireless system is. It's a great value for what you get, like the included lav mic. I really like the versatility of this magnetic clip-on system. So, if your budget is around $100, sometimes it goes on sale, a little bit less, then this is definitely the unit for you. It pairs right out of the box, same as the Rode system. There's no extra setup like that. You do have 20 channels that you could cycle through if you do have interference. So this is great in that aspect, great value, and it's a set it and forget it type of system. Downfalls of this are, you just have the LED, so you can't tell battery life. There's no, sound adjustments, things like that, or a signal indicator strength. Now on the Rode unit, you're paying pretty much for reliability, because with this, the range is much more, so it's an extra 20 meters more than the LensGo system. It also did not cut out the audio when I had my back turned away until I was at that, like, say 50 meter mark, 50, 60 meter mark. So you are going to be able to walk much further away with this unit. As well, the battery life on this is going to be 2 hours longer than on the LensGo unit, so that's something else to consider. Build quality wise, they're both great, but one really unique feature of this one that I don't believe the LensGo has is that this has 128-bit encryption. So if you're worried about your audio data being intercepted, you can be pretty confident that it's going to be fine with the 128-bit encryption on this unit. Okay, so after doing a comparison on the audio test and the range test, the sound is definitely better on the Rode system. Now, the LensGo system is not horrible, and when I did that review separately, it sounded good to me, but then when I compare the audio back to back on the LensGo system, the audio sounds like a little bit more muddy, so it's not as clear as on the Rode system. So I would say, if you're trying to decide between both of these units and you just want like the absolute best sound and you want the most range, then it's a no-brainer. The Rode wireless Go system is the better buy. Now, if you're starting out on a budget and you're kind of doing these indoor videos, the range isn't that important to you. The sound quality that you get out of the LensGo, it's still decent. Like, it's going to be better than whatever you're getting out of your inbuilt camera microphone or inbuilt cell phone microphone. So it's still a good unit there. But again, if you want the best audio quality, it's going to be the Rode system. The other things that the Rode system has going for it is that LED screen, status screen. You also have the better range and longer battery life. Now, if you're okay with that, paying 3 times more, great buy, can highly recommend. If you're more on a budget, then definitely check out the LensGo system. Just be prepared to maybe do a little bit more editing in the audio when you're doing post-processing. But for the purposes of this video, all of the audio is unedited, so you have a good idea of what it's going to sound like straight out. All right, so I hope that was helpful in helping you decide. If there's anything I missed, or if there's any other tests you want me to do, let me know. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the audio from the LensGo and the Rode. If you think it's worth it paying 3 times as much for the Rode system, or if you'd get by with the LensGo system. Like I said, the audio is decent out of the LensGo. You just may have to do a little bit of editing, but overall, they're both great systems, and it's a much better value with the LensGo because you get the included lav mic. And if you like that type of magnetic system, it's fully worth it. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.